right, Shalom. First and foremost, I like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostle of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayathat Avodah, the elect house of David, that are scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. Okay, and tonight's lesson is more, it's a testimony that I have here, and it's also entitled, get ready for the Lord to start taking away members of your family. Okay, yesterday, early in the morning, around 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday, on the 7th, I woke up this morning to get ready for work, and my mother got a call, and the news came that my mom's oldest brother, my uncle, had passed away from pancreatic cancer. Not that I'm getting emotional about it, it's just, it's just a sign that, that we're in that time where, in fact, let me just get the script and read it. But before I do that, I want to go more into, for those of you who are not familiar with this is pancreatic cancer. And what it says here is that cancer that begins in the organ lying behind the lower part of the stomach. Let's see. The pancreas secretes enzymes that aid digestion and hormones that help regulate the metabolism of sugars. This type of cancer is often detected late, spreads rapidly, and has a poor prognosis. There are no symptoms in early stages. Later stages are associated with symptoms, but these can be non-specific, such as lack of appetite and weight loss. Treatment may include surgery, removing the pancreas, radiation, and chemotherapy. And it says rare is that fewer than 200,000 U.S. cases per year. So it says that this cancer is usually detected late, spreads rapidly. So when they found out that my uncle was diagnosed, he was already in the late stages of having this cancer. And it says, what is the life expectancy of pancreatic cancer? And it says up to 10% of patients who receive an early diagnosis become disease-free after treatment. For patients who are diagnosed before the tumor grows much or spreads, the average pancreatic cancer survival time is 3 to 3.5 years. And what are the first warning signs of this type of cancer? Symptoms is belly pain that spreads to the sides or back, loss of appetite, weight loss, yellowing of the skin and the whites of the eyes called jaundice, light colored or floating stools, dark colored urine, itching. So, this, the odds of surviving it, if the cancer is detected in an early stage when surgical removal of the tumor is possible, the 5-year relative survival rate is 44%. About 12% of people are diagnosed at this stage. If the cancer is spread to surrounding tissue or organs, the 5-year relative state survival rate is 15%. So, like right here, it is common to have pancreatic cancer and not know it. So, this is a serious thing, and my uncle had it, and but in the end, my uncle, he was a good guy, lived life to the fullest in the time that he had. You know, he just had that vibe about him that, he could make people just feel comfortable around him. He was just, he just one of those guys that could draw people in. Always got people to see the positive side in life. And he was always one of those guys that kept it real as well. Wasn't afraid to tell the truth straight to your face. But let's go ahead and get into some scripts. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, starting at verse 1. And it says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven." Verse 2, "A time to be born, and a time to die, and a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted." Okay? "A time to kill, and a time to heal, and a time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. And a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, and a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, and a time to lose, and a time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rent, and a time to sow, and a time to keep silent, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace." So, there's a time and place for everything, okay? And everything happens in its appointed time, okay? So let me go back to verse 2, and it says, "And a time to be born, and a time to die." Okay? So, it was just my uncle's time. But, even though my family and all our other relatives, they were mourning, but, me and my brother, we didn't mourn, but we did feel bad, though. But at the same time, we were glad, and the reason why I say this is because in the book of Sirach, I wasn't crying or anything when I heard the news. It was more like, I was just stunned. It caught me off guard, but even before then, I kind of had a feeling that, my uncle wasn't going to make it, because pancreatic cancer is something that most people can't really get away from. But this is the book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse 23. It says, "When the dead is at rest, let his remembrance rest, and be comforted for him when his spirit is departed from him." Okay? So, even though even though the Lord took his last breath away, but he's back in the spirit realm with Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. My uncle's good. He's in his right mind now. And I'm happy for him. I'm glad that, that he passed on, that he won't have to worry about going through Jacob's trouble. He won't have to face the horrors that are about to befall this place. And, he, like I said, he went peacefully in his sleep, and that's an act of mercy from on high. He's good. He knows who he is. He knows who he belongs to. He knows the Father. He knows the Son. He now knows the truth. He's in his right mind. He's at peace. He's good. In fact, let's go back to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. And it says, "Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was," because our bodies are made from the dust, from the dirt of the earth. "And the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it." Okay? So when you die, your spirit goes back to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So that's one of the scripts that cuts that debunks the whole hell doctrine. Okay. But yeah, as as my uncle departed from this life, he went to the spirit world, received his judgment, and now he's good. Won't have to worry about Jacob's trouble. You know. You don't have to go through that. Okay, next is going to be, excuse me, 2 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 4. And it says, who comforteth us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble, by the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of the Most High. Okay? And the one that comforts us is Yahweh Bashem Yahshai and His Word. And, by that comfort, we are able to comfort those that are in a time of distress. By the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted, through the scriptures, man. Verse 5. For as the sufferings of Hamashiach are abound in us, so our consolation also aboundeth by Hamashiach. Our consolation, the end game reward. What are we to receive by abounding in the sufferings of our Lord, Yahweh Shai? Verse 6. And whether we be afflicted, it is for your consolation and salvation, which is effectual in the enduring of the same sufferings which we also suffer. Or whether we be comforted, it is for your consolation and your salvation. So, being afflicted and enduring the sufferings of our Lord, this is all towards, all towards the end game reward, And these sufferings, they shall not be compared to the glory that is to come. All that we're going through, all that we're suffering, all that we're losing in this life, it's all, it's all for the endurance. And, to, in fact, let me see if 2 Timothy, excuse me, 2 Timothy, 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3, and it says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay? So endure hardness. Okay? We gotta go through it. So yeah. This is, and that's another thing too I wanted to get. Let's go to the book of Matthew. Matthew 19 and 29. Coming into this, this truth, you have to know what you're involved in and what it involves, what it entails. What you're getting yourself into, because this is a solemn thing. And the word solemn means serious. This is Matthew 19 and 29. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. Okay? So coming into this, we know that making sacrifices. What are you willing to, what are you willing to endure? What are you willing to give up for the kingdom? Because, you may lose everything on this side, but you're going to get it all back and then some when the kingdom of heaven is established. So yeah, it was a lot. It was a hurtful loss, but at the same time, I'm happy that my uncle is back with the Lord, man. That he doesn't have to go through the hell that's about to come. That he's at peace. Okay, and well, let's see. I think I had something else. Let's see. This is. Let's see. I believe that's this is Job 25:2. Dominion and fear are with him. He maketh peace in his high places. Talking about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Dominion, rulership, and fear. He has rulership, order, and respect are with him. He maketh peace in high places. So he rules with, he rules with that righteousness, and there's order in the spirit realm. There's peace under his rule and his watchful eye. Okay, so I have nothing to worry about for those that pass on from this life, because they're in the hands of the righteous. And it's going to be my last one here before I close out. This is going to be Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 32, 39. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. And it says, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there that can deliver out of my hand. So, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is the one that takes life, gives life. He's the one that can cause damage, and he's the one that can heal you. And there is no one that can deliver any out of his hand, okay? That's why they say it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, okay? We are at his mercy. We are completely and absolutely powerless against him and before him. So, ultimately this was my uncle's time, okay? The Lord took his final breath away, and his spirit left his body. And that was it. And my cousin, my uncle's son, he was, sitting right there with his dad, right before he took his last breath. So, like I said, get ready for, we're in that time where we're going to be seeing more and more death. So, just be prepared when the Lord starts taking away members of your family. All right, so I hope that this was edifying. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostle of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Ba'ath Davadah, the elect house of David, that is scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharallah, Wa Baba Bal, Shalom, Barakatham.